Hello class. I am currently in Blackboard right now, and I wanted to show you uh, a very important link that we're going to work with that will help you when it comes to writing your algorithms. Notice I'm in announcements right now, but if I go down to content assignments, and we're currently working on chapter 2, so go down to chapter 2. And then a previous video I made was this one, Chapter 2, Lab 1, Program Design and Elements for the Semester. That's a video and the document that goes with it. We've seen this in the Start Here folder, but I put it again here because you should start getting prepared to start coding, right? So this helps you do that. But underneath this Lab 1 that we've already discussed is Programming Algorithm Examples. And if I click this link, it'll take me to a web page that actually kind of helps you understand how to write a good algorithm. These are the 4 key elements of a good algorithm. The input and output should be defined precisely, and I'm going to show you an algorithm template that we're going to use that will help you do that. Each step in the algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. That means I shouldn't have to guess. I should know exactly what you're doing. I should understand when I read your algorithm exactly what is taking place. You shouldn't leave any steps out. Algorithms should be most effective among many different ways to solve a problem. In other words, there might be several ways to solve a problem, but you need to pick the best one that you think works best and show that in your algorithm. An algorithm should not include computer code. Do not include the code. A lot of students want to do that. Do not. Instead, it should be written in such a way it can be used with different programming languages. So if I'm coding in C++, someone else is coding in Java, someone else is coding in whatever, you name it, Python. Okay, it shouldn't matter when they read your algorithm because your algorithm is written in plain English. Now they give examples of different algorithms. Step 1, start, declare variables. So there, here you're naming your variables. You're declaring it to the system. You're telling the compiler, here are my variables. Variables num1, num2, and sum. Then read the values. So you're telling the computer, read those values, then add them, and assign the answer to sum. Display the sum, stop. Now here's an algorithm, right? That's an algorithm. Here's another one. Notice we have if and else, but this is written in plain English. There's no actual code here. If I put this in any compiler, it's not going to work because it's in plain English. That's the thing that you need to remember. All right, so excuse me. It's pretty simple and easy to follow how to make these algorithms, okay? So if you look at each one, it's not too hard to follow them. You can understand what the programmer is trying to do, that you can follow it. Now let's go over the algorithm template I mentioned. So on that same link where it says Programming Algorithm Examples, this takes you to the web page, but if you go down here and click on Document, this is the algorithm template, and I'm going to open that up real quick. Let's see if it'll open for me here. And it did, just not in the screen I want it to, so let me slide it over there. There we go. Now you can read it. This is your template. In other words, this is what I want your algorithms to look like. You will use this for creating and submitting your algorithms. It will help guide you so that you remember to include all required information. Under Input, you need to list and describe your input variables. So right here, you would list and describe your input variables. So let me see here. I want to give you some examples. For example, let's use the example algorithm that we looked at on the web page to add two numbers together. So under Input, I might type num1, and then I want to define it. And let's see, the first number that is input by the user. Okay, and this, I don't want that a capital, and my Word automatically did that. So there, num1. Okay, I'm defining my input variables. I also had num2, the second number that is input by the user. All right, so that's the two input variables that goes under input. Now, another thing that you have to describe, be sure to describe where the data will come from, such as user input or a file. So underneath where I describe my variables, I'm going to put all data will come from the user, who will type in their response. Okay, would that every program have this for the input? No, some programs might say input will come from a data file. Okay, so you have to describe where is that input into my program going to come from, and then you put the input format. This is your title, and I'm going to underline that, and then I'm going to put this program will add two numbers. All right, that's what I want on the screen. That's what I'm saying here, and I don't want that bold. I want this on the screen, okay? When they run the program, I want the user to see this. This program will add two numbers. Please enter a number that you want to add. Please enter a second number you want to add. All right, let's spell second right here. There we go. So this is what input would look like. Now, naturally, you could delete all these instructions and just have this, right? And that'd be okay. I don't expect you to leave this blue stuff. And yours would probably be black, right? So this all should be black, not blue. It's just that it's blue because I had blue there already. There. And there's my input information. And then under process, here's my algorithm. So I type step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So there's all my algorithm. There's my input information. And now what will my output look like? So I would go down here. I'm going to make this black. There we go. And on output, I would have to list and describe the variables that will be used for output. So I want to output num1, right? I want that to show up on the screen. First number the user has input, and num2, the second number the user has input. All right, these should not be capital because my variable, it matters when in program whether or not you use a capital letter, because remember it has a different machine code for capital and lowercase, so it matters. All right, now what else do I want for output? Well, there's my variables. Do I have any other variables I want for output? I think you know. I want sum, right? The solution to the addition of num1 and num2. Okay, so there's my variables. Now, what else do I want? Well, I have to describe, indicate where the output will be sent. Will it be going to the screen, to paper, to a file? Will it go to two of those? All three of those? I need to describe that. For this program, I'm going to say, let's see, all output will be on the screen. Oops, can't spell output, can I? There. And then last, I'm going to put output format. That's my heading. And I'm going to have a heading on the screen that says, I'm just going to copy and paste. I got this already. Let me just copy and save some time. So here's what I want. Let's see if it'll format correctly. Yeah, it looks okay. then bold that. All right, so here's my output format. What will it look like when it comes out on the screen? You're going to see a heading that says first number, second number, and answer. And then underneath that, whatever those numbers are and the answer. Okay? That's what I'm telling you, is that I want my output to look like this. This is a really well-written algorithm. Now you might like highlight this and make it bold, and then maybe put something like variables, output variables. That'd be better, right? So you want it to be organized so that when I read it or anyone else, they know what you're talking about. They know what your plan is. They know what this program's supposed to do. So does that make sense? I hope so. And up here, same thing. You probably want to title this input variables. Okay, I need an S. There we go. Input variables. Bold that so you know it's a title. Here's my input variables. Here's where my data will come from to go into the system. Here's what my input will look like on the screen for the user. Okay? You might say it's coming from a file. Well then, what does the file look like? That's what you need to describe here. Then the process. Write an algorithm. This is where your steps go. What happens when? And then what does the output look like? All right, I hope this template is helpful to you, and I hope this little video is helpful so that you understand what I expect when you can complete a algorithm for a program that I assign to you. All right, there's more to come.